Hey, all right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 38th historical edition. And don't fucking go tearing it down because I said historical. I know some people like to fucking blow up historical shit and tear it down
Yeah.
nowadays. But 38th historical edition of Hangar 18 with me, your fucking giant blue stabby faced alien from another planet, Thundercracker. And with me, as always, is my badass baritone panty dropper, the Spock to my Kirk, Dreadwind.
With not nearly as many phone problems as you're having.
Yeah, I know. It's like that's the whole reason why today Hangar 18 is an hour late, is because, there's all kinds of like phone issues going on with me. I had to spend an hour at the AT&T store, and that's always fun. So yeah, and like I was there, and there were these this old couple in front of me, and this is honest to God, this is one of their questions. What's data?
Yeah. They really need to make like they should all have just a what's the word I'm looking for? Technology
A
tech
primer
technology it
for dummies?
for dummy. Yeah, basically. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
trying to put it nicely. Challenge. That's what the word I was looking for.
yeah.
Technologically challenged version of these phones where it's
I,
just
I would say they can look it up on Google, but they probably don't know. If they don't know what fucking data is, they might not know how to
yeah.
use Google.
Yeah, some of these people have no need for all this smartphone stuff. All they need is just a phone that can call
Yeah,
and maybe text, you
those
know.
people that get the jitterbug, and like the fucking numbers on it are like 1 inch in diameter.
Right, right, yeah. But
Oh
we don't need
shit.
that, you know.
All right, so now that was a big, like, long, way off the track preamble. So anyway, let's go right into our heavy metal news. And I'm not gonna lie, mine was kind of last minute, but I think I found a good one here. Okay, Rock Am Ring, which is a pretty famous heavy metal festival that happens over there in crazy old Europe. They are forced to evacuate, but it turned out to be a mistake. Here's the best part about it. Uh, it was very concerning a few weeks ago. The first night of Rock Am Ring had to be cut short due to a terrorist warning. At the
Wow.
time, not much else was revealed, but 80,000 people had to be evacuated, which I'm guessing that was big fun,
Yeah.
for what German authorities called concrete evidence, or what they would say, concrete evidence. Turns out the misunderstanding was due to a spelling error, IQ magazine reports. They say the following: Johannes Kuntz, which his last name means short in German, chief of Rhineland Palatinate State Police Force, says that the names of two Syrian nationals working at the festival were misspelled on the list of staff provided by the police by promoter Marek Leiberberg Concert Agency, MLK. They have in parentheses. That's weird. You figure nobody else would use that parenthesis or that abbreviation. Anyway, at the time, the authorities suspected an Islamist terror plot in the state of Hesse, and when the two men's names could not be found on the list, the decision was made to evacuate the festival. So they misspelled their names, couldn't find the actual names on the list, and they thought there was going to be a terrorist bombing of Rock Am Ring.
Concrete evidence.
Yeah, concrete house. Here's the thing too about that whole deal is like nowadays, and it's probably like what they want to have happen nowadays. Like when I go to like Gen Con or something where like there's a huge amount of people, that's always in the back of my mind. I'm like, man, somebody could walk right in here and just gun down a shitload of people. And that's
Hmm.
probably what the terrorists want you to think all the time. That there's always
Oh
a
yeah.
chance of something going wrong. So they want you to live in terror because that's the point of terrorism, I guess.
That's the
Anyway,
point.
well,
Yeah. Wow.
yeah, I know. Pretty goddamn insightful, huh? Anyway, that's my heavy metal news. What do you got for us there, Dreadwind?
Well, speaking of terrorism, which has absolutely nothing to do with what I'm talking about,
Yeah,
uh, OTEP recently kicked a band off of their tour. I should say her because it's the singer that did it. Um,
shocker.
Band called The Convalescence
Mhm.
was opening for OTEP, and she just kicked them off their tour, and they've responded saying that she's an absolute nightmare to work with, which I've actually heard from other reports as well. So that seems to be a common thing. with her. It says we will no longer be part of the remaining dates of the Resistance Tour with OTEP. If you know anything about OTEP and her political policies, the name of the tour alone should pretty much say all you need to know.
What is it? Fuck Trump and I ejaculate.
The Resistance Tour.
No, so it's probably like fucking funding Antifa retards.
Yeah, I bet that's a fun night to listen to her go on about stuff.
No, oh yeah.
Yeah, it says after years spent on the road touring worldwide and never having a problem, this is a first for us. OTEP kicked us off the tour after already loading in for tonight's event in Pittsburgh. This was a couple nights ago. Stemming from an alleged incident, and I get this, stems from an alleged incident that occurred in Michigan 2 nights previously, where claims were made that we sold merchandise during the intro of their set.
What? That's like the flimsiest reason ever.
Yes.
That's like some schoolyard shit right there.
Exactly. It's like, seriously? Wow. Somebody wanted to buy a T-shirt while OTEP was opening their set, and
who cares?
Yeah.
Good Lord. You know what the sad part about it is you know what's really screwing? The fans.
Yeah.
Because I guarantee you there are fans there that went to see that band and not OTEP, and what are they going to do now?
Yeah.
They're just out there tickling.
Yep.
That sucks.
Yeah, and apparently it wasn't the first time she threatened to kick him off the tour. It says there was another instance that says in both instances we were unable to explain or make any attempt to approach the situation, even after 50+ dates as direct support.
Yeah, unable to explain, aka she wouldn't listen.
Yeah, well, it says unless she felt the need to threaten to kick us off the tour and belittle us, we weren't even allowed in the same room with her.
Oh, that's handy.
Yeah.
What a pleasant person.
Yeah, so they apologize to their fans that they're unable to see them, but they're going to be starting up another tour with a couple other bands here soon. So,
what band was that again?
The Convalescents.
Convalescents. All right, I've never heard of it.
Yeah, me either, but that's pretty crappy thing to do.
Fucking A. All right, well we were just like a fucking bastion of good news today.
Rainbows and unicorns today.
Right on. So anyway, let's go on to our heavy metal review of 10 songs. The whole point of the fucking show here, right? Anyway, our very first song is from a little-known band from Arlington, Texas, 1981, called Pantera. And this song is called Drag the Waters from their album released in 1996 through The Great Southern Trendkill. I think that was the same year Load was released by Metallica, so there was some good shit in 96.
Yeah, I think so.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, you just got like really low tone there real quick.
I was doing the math in my head, trying to remember what year that came out. I think you're right.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute. It's a problem with my headphones. I just turned my headphone on the jack, and you're like about 400 decibels.
Okay.
All right, you're good now. All right, so 1996, year I graduated high school, right? All right, number 1, notes. Is that a cowbell in the beginning? It sounds a lot like it. I know drummers sometimes like to put a cowbell in their kit and just hit it with their drumstick. So there's that. I like
at the end too.
Yeah, I like the fact that Dimebag unapologetically has his Stars and Bars Washburn.
Yes.
He's just blazing away on that, you know?
Yep.
I was not even aware of that there was a video for this until like I made this playlist. I never thought that they made any videos for Trendkill, but you can tell it was obviously filmed in 2 different locations because bad stuff. The main underlying riff is very groovy, and then it goes right to a punishing fast riff, and then back into that groovy riff. And somebody put on the comments, this promotes healthy living, swimming, and cleaning up your local river, which I thought was pretty funny. The guitar solo is shockingly fucking awesome, and it even kind of sounds southern. Like as soon as I heard it, I was like visions of like fried stuff and incest were just going through my head because of the southern sound of it.
So bad.
I know. They speed up at 3 minutes 50 seconds is pretty awesome. And at one point in the video, you can see the cameraman because like one of the cameras tilts over and you see a cameraman like kind of half hidden behind this thing. And he just kind of looks up. He's like, "Oh shit!" He backs up a little bit, but he's still in the video. He's only on it for like a split second, but you can see it. They didn't bother editing it out. My only really knock on this song is it's about 45 seconds too long for what it is. And here's the part I was talking about earlier, the bad stuff. Due to tension and conflicts within the band, a.k.a. Phil Anselmo is a giant heroin head. Phil Anselmo recorded the vocals alone at Trent Reznor's Nothing Studios in New Orleans, while Dimebag Darrell, Rex Brown, and Vinnie Paul recorded their music at Chasing Jason Studios. That's a great name. Chasing Jason Studios in Dallas. I give this an 8.5. Dreadwin, what did you give it? Drag the Waters by Pantera.
I got a fever.
A fever for
and
the
only prescription is more cowbell.
I love it.
Yeah, that's a bad impersonation. But
that is a terrible impersonation of Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's got cowbell in it, man. That's awesome. He's at the front and the back of the song. This is an awesome song. I love this song. Who does the intro voice? Do you know? Because I looked it up and it says it's uncredited.
Oh yeah, it's on Wikipedia. Who does the additional vocals? Go ahead and talk. I'll look it up while you're talking.
Okay, it sounds like possibly Peter Cullen doing the intro thing. I don't know. But the opening riff totally sets the tone for this song, and it's just full of attitude, full of energy. It makes you want to headbang, and it's just a killer Pantera song. I don't really have notes on the song itself other than it's awesome. I love this song. Pantera came out at the right time. They were the right band at the right time when they came out during the 90s, because that's when you had all the alternative stuff going on with Nirvana and everything, and metal was really kind of fading away, and Pantera was really that one band that stood out and kind of kept the flag going for metal during that time. It was just the right mix at the right time of the right group of people that put this band together and came up with this sound, and this song is a great example of that. Excuse me. I give it a 9.5. I love it.
9.5. Holy shit. Well, I can't fucking find out who the narrator was, but apparently a shitload of other people have looked that up.
I looked it up one time and it said just uncredited, so I don't know. But it's first time I heard it, I thought Peter Cullen, but I don't know if that's him or not.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's probably Christopher Walken.
More cowbell.
All right, so our next song we have to review for you is by a band called No One, and they were formed in Chicago, Illinois in 2000. This is from their self-titled 2001 album. The song is called Cut, and it has a very bouncy opening, and then he says, "Bring that shit," and then all hell breaks loose.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a big fan of the singer's voice because he kind of reminds me of like a cross between Corey Taylor and Chad Gray of Slipknot and or Mudvayne fame. There's a very prominent bass line throughout the entire song, and the drumming is pretty good. In fact, the whole rhythm section is pretty spot on.
Yeah,
I absolutely love how they slow down. Wait, what is it? I absolutely love the slowdown they do, where they just have the bass, the vocals, and a small amount of drums and some keyboard effects. My favorite part of the entire song is the little guitar ditty at the end. And AllMusic's J.T. Griffith gave the album, self-titled album from No One, a 2.5 out of 5 rating. It emphasized No One's lack of originality and similarity to contemporaries, but also their passionate, aggressive style. He says further, No One is a good thrashing rock outfit, but original is not what they do. It may not be groundbreaking, but is going to be hugely popular. He added the album cover has a picture of a man's face with his eyes covered like a prisoner, so when frontman Merck claims that he does not see a lot of Korn or Pantera in today's music, it's easy to wonder if he is blinded too. And that's pretty dick review right there. So anyway, yeah. I gave No One Cut a 7.0. I just like it because it's like a little simple song. It's like a little bang your head song. It's not got any deep meaning or anything. It's just there.
Yeah. I agree with some of the points in that review. Because what was the part where he said something about they don't really stand out.
Yeah, they're unoriginal.
Yeah, I'm definitely with that because one of the notes I wrote was that the chorus feels pretty generic sounding, and it's just got a generic early 2000s metal sound to the chorus part. I like the breakdown. I thought the breakdown was okay that you were talking about,
Mhm.
and it's got the heavy bass intro, and the bass throughout is really good. Um, that pretty much summed it all up for me too. I don't have very many notes on that one. I gave it a 7.0 also. I'm kind of in the same boat with you.
God damn, did you write any notes today?
No. Yeah, I got some later.
All right, well, we lost our viewer. We had a viewer there for a second, and we lost him. All right.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, whoever that was. All right, moving on to Prong, a band from New York City formed in 1986. And this is a song called Broken Peace off of their album Cleansing, 1994, which has that great, like, fork on the cover. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. The opening guitar and bass is fucking awesome. And then they go into a whole other grooviness. And then they do a drop on the chorus, like the pre-chorus part. There's like a big heavy guitar drop, which is pretty awesome. Tommy Victor's voice sounds like he smoked about 7 billion cartons of cigarettes.
Yeah.
Awesome video. I was not a fan of the echo effect on some of the vocals, which I think they added that just for the video.
I think so. I don't remember that being from the CD.
The guitars on the entire song are so fucking awesome that I broke my own neck headbanging to them. The solo had this weird effect on it, and it didn't last long. And it is muted, but it fits perfectly with the song. This version of the song has some embellishments on it that are not on the studio album. I mean, there's definitely some stuff that's different. I was looking up online. They've had 24 different members of Prong.
Wow.
Including John Tempesta, who is of White Zombie, Exodus, and Testament fame.
Wow.
And furthermore, Korn's Jonathan Davis, Demon Hunter's Ryan Clark, and Nine Inch Nails' Trent Reznor all cite Prong as an influence to their musical style. And here's what I thought about that. If Prong is a influence to you, why do your bands suck so bad? Because all those bands suck. Anyway, I give Prong Broken Peace an 8.0. Dreadwind.
Yeah, I wrote awesome band, awesome album, awesome song. Tommy is also playing guitar for Danzig now. Did you know that?
I did know that.
Yeah. This song, like I said, it's a great album. It's a great song. It has a very distinct opening guitar riff on this one, and the whole song is pretty basic, but it still rocks all the way through. Like you said, the guitars just drive and kick into it. And this song, take notes, Kirk Hammett. This song is an example of the good use of wah pedal.
Right.
I like the solo. The solo's got a couple of effects he's using. I know he's got the wah in there. I think he's probably running a delay and probably a reverb also, give it all that weird effect sound. But it's pretty cool.
You know what else is probably on there?
Probably a flanger, huh?
Fucking A.
It every time I listen to this song, I can't help but kind of laugh at Tommy Victor's vocals every now and then, because there's that one part where he's trying to say something real, but the way he says it is something.
Yeah.
Something real. Yeah. It's just funny. But I love this song and I love this album. I give it an 8.5.
8.5. Damn, I think you fucking rated. Yeah. You're already you're averaging out higher than me today.
I know.
That's crazy. We'll change that, I'm sure. Ready? Move on to.
I'm sure we will.
A band called Ramming Speed. And every time I think of I read that name, I kept thinking of when Worf is in the Defiant and he's going up against the Borg and he's like, Ramming Speed. I love that.
I think of Wrath of Khan, but yeah. So
anyway, this song is called Chokeholds and Bullet Holes, which is a great name for a song. The band was formed in Boston, Massachusetts in 2005. And the album is No Epitaphs, 2015. Classic thrash opening and beat. I absolutely love the singer's voice, who reminds me a bit of a more aggressive Randy Blythe of Lamb of God fame. He's got that whole Randy Blythe type, twang to his voice, but he's deeper and harsher. The drumming is all over the place, but it manages to have some coherency. They're a relatively unknown band, Their Facebook page has less than 10,000 likes. And fuck, I have a Facebook page with fucking 4.5 times that many likes. I've never went on even tour. Anyway, a very short song, chock full of high energy guitar, drums, and angry vocals. They're going to have a tour in the U.S. November 30th through December 31st of this year. I rated Ramming Speed, Chokeholds, and Bullet Holes. A little simple song. I rated a 7.5.
It's got a thrash opening and screaming vocals. It's pretty much straight up thrash metal.
Yep.
A lot of speed, and which in France they would call it Metal la vitesse.
All right.
Or actually, they probably just call it speed. But
speed. Let's be the metal.
Speed the metal. Yeah, actually, that means speed metal in French.
Speed metal means speed metal in French?
No, the la vitesse is speed in French.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fancy.
So metal. It'd be metal la vitesse. Speed metal.
All right.
Anyway, the song is short. The solo was okay, but I didn't think it was anything special. It's a pretty good, solid thrash song, I guess, but it's rather, I don't know. It has a real cool main riff, but otherwise it felt unremarkable to me overall. Nothing really stood out. They had that, like I said, kind of that one main riff really stood out to me. Other than that, it was just pretty atypical thrash metal, which is fine. But
you mean typical, right?
Yes, typical. Yeah, that's what I meant. What did I say?
Atypical.
Atypical. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Totally the opposite.
Oops. Yeah, pretty typical thrash metal, but which is fine, but it just didn't stand out, like I said. So I give it a 7.0.
All right, that's not too bad. All right, moving on to Hatebreed, band formed in Connecticut. And every time I spell out Connecticut, I always think in my head, connect, I cut. Connecticut, 1994. Little tidbit there for you. Anyway, this song is called "Give Wings to My Triumph" from their album Supremacy, 2006. The opening has almost like this somber feel to it, and then it starts to build up with cymbals, and then Jamie Josta comes in with his vocals and wrecks your fucking life. About half the comments on the YouTube video were about weightlifting, and I'm guessing 100% of those people have never seen a gym or lifted a weight. The song structure is very simplified and very angry. The whole drum track is a concoction of various blast beats. Frontman Jamie Josta contends that the main theme of the Supremacy album is overcoming feelings of depression, guilt, sadness, anxiety, and alienation. I wanted to show that there is hope and that you have to start with yourself. You can't help other people if you can't help yourself. That's a pretty goddamn good philosophy right there. Anyway, Hatebreed, Give Wings to My Triumph. I gave it a 7.0 Dreadwood.
Interesting. Yeah, it kind of has a long intro. I was ready for that intro to be done with before it was done. I don't know about you. Were you?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. But then Josta comes in with a screaming. You got your heavy guitars. It's another short song. This is only 3 minutes. It's pretty standard for Hatebreed. There's not.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Again, a funny story about that is when I'm on the art trainer, I can typically get off about 120 calories during the course of a song. But I know when a Hatebreed song comes up, it's going to be more like 80.
I believe it. Yeah.
Then when a Minor Threat song comes on, it's more like 30. So there you go.
There you go.
Threw you off your train of thought, didn't I?
You did. And I don't have my first page. I have more notes on my second page, I promise. But the first page.
You lazy fucker.
I sat down listening to this song. First of all, it's only 3 minutes long, so there's not many notes you can write on a 3-minute long song to begin with. And secondly, I'm sitting there with my pen, and I was like, no, okay, no, okay, and because what can you write about? It's hate. If you've heard Hatebreed, you know what the song is like because it's. And this is what I wrote. I feel like it's good, but I feel like I've heard them all.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, if you know Hatebreed and you've heard a Hatebreed song, you've pretty much know what to expect from all the rest of their songs. So there's not much you can write new about a song that sounds like their other songs because you already know what they sound like. So I gave it a 7.0 also.
I can't believe you're going to shit on Hatebreed.
Yeah, I know.
It's almost like you hate Hatebreed. It's like hate squared breed for you.
Hate squared. But they are metal core to the core.
Yeah, right on, man. I like them. So there you go.
They're all right. They're just not. They're. Hey, I gave it the same rating you did.
You should have gave it a better rating to make me feel better. There you go. All right. Moving on to a band called Ketzer, and they're from Cologne, Germany, 2003, and this song was called "Fire to Conquer the World."
Could have used some cologne on this song.
Yeah, my album. The album's name is Satan's Boundaries Unchained. I figured you wouldn't like this one. Released in 2009. The cover of the album is a demon with a sword standing on a pile of bones under a blood-red sky. Nothing wrong with that. The opening almost sounds like an orchestra tuning up. Definitely overtones of Sodom going on with this band with a touch of black metal to the vocals. And while I was listening to this song, a curved horn full of satanic ale appeared. And I drank it. And now I'm suddenly, I don't know, my eyes are red and I have horns growing on my fucking forehead. But anyway, I really like the change up that they did at about 3 minutes where they go to what sounds like a horse riding tempo. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. Like the main riff in Four Horsemen sounds to me like a horse galloping, right? Same kind of thing with this. Not exactly the same, but it sounds like a horse. You can picture a horse galloping along. There's probably a word for that musicians know that I don't. But anyway, I can deal with this type of black metal because you can tell one riff from another and one drum beat apart from another drum beat. I don't like the black metal just like I don't really like that. And probably perhaps the weirdest outro I've ever heard in my life. And also I was looking at this band and their Wikipedia, they only have a German Wikipedia page. So I was like testing my German skills, and what I gathered, there was a line in there I thought that was funny. They said long-term fans might be frightened of this new album because apparently they get slower and slower as they release new albums. But anyway,
wow.
Ketzer, the Fire to Conquer the World, I give it a 6.5 Dread.
Interesting. Yeah, when it started out, I had to look to see what year this came out in because it sounded like an early 80s demo.
Oh.
Especially the intro part. And it first started, I think it came out in 2009.
It did.
Yeah. But it definitely, I was like, is this an old 80s band I'd never heard of before? No. And I kept waiting to hear Jump in the Fire kick in at the intro, the way the intro started up.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
I was like, man, yeah, it could be like Jump in the Fire, but no. Then the singer started choking. I don't know. What do you call that? It's not singing.
Yeah, I like how James Hetfield once described who's the fuckface who sang for Guns N' Roses? Axl Rose.
Oh, Axl Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, in one of the live videos where they were on tour together, James was describing. He was reading off this list of things that Guns N' Roses demanded in their dressing room, and like one of the things was like chicken bouillon cubes, and he's like, "Yeah, they probably get that so he can get that in his voice."
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty fucking funny. But anyway, totally off topic of that.
Absolutely, these guys probably. I don't even know what he uses. Yeah, I don't know. I was gonna say like brown M&Ms or something. Do you know the story about that?
Well, yeah, yep.
M&Ms.
I've heard it.
Do you know the reason why they did it?
Is to make sure that they're doing everything on their list.
Yeah, because they had some. Yeah,
we already had that conversation.
Did we? Okay.
Yeah, we did. Man.
I'm trying. It's 38 shows, man. Come on, give me a break. Yeah, the guitars are pretty cool in it, though. It's pretty straight up black metal. But it does. I'm with you. It's got some really cool guitar riffs that are not your standard black metal, where it's just 10,000 miles an hour all the time. So there's cool riffs in there that kind of break it up that I liked. But at the 3-minute mark, I was ready for the song to be over. and it wasn't.
No. You still had like another 2
And then
minutes.
I wrote 3 minutes. Is it over yet? No. But then they kicked into that little change up, and I was like, "Hey, that's pretty cool. That is a real cool riff."
Yep.
Lasted for about 45 seconds,
Mhm.
and then they went right back to the rest of the stuff. It was way too long. That 45 seconds would have been great if they would have just like taken that part out and turned that into a whole other song.
Oh.
Had it in this song because the song needs cologne because it stinks.
I
Yeah.
got that part.
Yeah.
I followed that line of reasoning.
5.0.
5.0, goddamn.
No,
That's
I did
terrible.
not like it.
All right. All right. Speaking of jump in the fire, this next song is a song about STDs. It's from Death Clock, and it's called "I Ejaculate Fire," which is probably one of my favorite song names of all time. I mean, other than your standard like death metal ones, they're like vaginal discharge or stuff like that. Just like the extreme ones that like Cannibal Corpse has. This other sounds funny. Anyway, the Death Clock released their debut album September 25th, 2007. They really didn't form since they're a cartoon.
There's really just one guy that does like
it's Brendan Small, and then he's got a drummer, and
yeah.
that. So anyway, this is off their Death album 3, released in 2012. My notes are the tone of the guitar is way the fuck low.
Yeah.
Way low tone guitar.
It's brutal.
Yeah, definitely. And I bet Brendan has a hard time talking after he recorded this song because he is tearing it up.
Yeah.
The album peaked at I couldn't believe this. The album peaked at number 10 on the Billboard 200 chart, selling over 20,000 copies in its first week of release. This overtakes Death Album 2 as the highest charting death metal album of all time.
Wow. Was that U.S. Billboard?
Yep. U.S. Billboard 200 chart. That's what I thought. Like,
wow.
What the fuck? They're not even death metal. I mean, kind of, but not really. All right. Somebody put in the comment section, this was pretty funny. If he were from Texas, he would have said testicular propane and testicular propane accessory. I thought that was fucking funny.
I was just gonna say though. You said it's not even death metal. I was like, yeah, but as far as the Billboard Top 200 goes,
that's true.
If it's not Metallica, if it's heavier than Metallica, it's considered death metal.
Yeah, you're probably right. Slayer's death metal. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
All right, the tempo change at 2 minutes came out of nowhere and fucking ripped it up, and then they slowed it right back down. The video is fucking awesome. It has this like pharaoh guy ejaculating fire on people and killing them with it. It's great. My only really one complaint about this song is you can't really hear the bass at all throughout the entire song. I mean, none. Mm-hmm. So I give it a 7.0. That's what I really only digged them on that bass part. Go ahead, Dreadwit.
Okay. Yeah, the intro kind of has like a record player style intro where you hear the bit like the scratch and then the background noise of a record player actually playing. See, kids, a long time ago, before there were CDs,
we had these things called records.
We had things called records that looked kind of like a CD, but they were a lot bigger, made out of vinyl. And when you put the needle on it, they made noise.
They were big and black.
God. I grew up playing records, actually. My mom
had playing
records. Yeah.
Me too.
Yep.
Fuck, I remember my dad had an 8-track player in his Vega.
Yeah. Yeah, we had the 8-track player too, but yeah. Anyway, I don't know what it is about Death Clock. I'm normally not a big fan of the the death metal type vocals or whatever.
I think what you're trying to say is that you're a pussy.
But I like no.
Hey, we got our viewer back. Get excited.
All right, you are what you eat, right? I do like Death Clock's vocals. I don't know why.
I've noticed that.
I like him.
I think you might have a crush on Brendan Small.
Maybe so. Maybe that's what it is.
He is pretty sexy.
I have no idea what he looks like.
I'm looking up right now. I don't really know either.
My big knock was the bass is a little low also, but I also found the vocals were a bit low in the mix. They're actually kind of hard to hear some of the vocals over the guitars and everything. The guitars are really amped up in this mix, but I was just completely, yeah, with the video.
All right. Yeah, me too. It was pretty easy.
Yeah. I gave it 8.0 though. I like it.
Oh, by the way, I just looked up Brendan Smallet. He looks like Corey Taylor fucked Garth Brooks, and that was the kid. Was Brendan Smallet.
God.
That's a great description, right? All right, moving on.
Thanks. I'll never get that out of my head.
I know, right? So next band is called In Flames, formed in Gothenburg, Sweden in 1990. This song is called The Quiet Place, and it's off their album The Soundtrack to Your Escape, released in 2004. It has a very ethereal opening with some strange keyboard effects. I love the stop and go effects that they do with the vocals. The keyboard part that goes along with the guitars on the chorus is about the most tasteful use of a keyboard I've ever heard in a metal song. They do a little bouncy part at 2:30, which is pretty awesome. The vocals are a good mix of scream and clean. I really could have done without the 20 seconds of static at the end of the song, because that was kind of stupid. Anyway, the songs Dead, Borders and Shading, and Friend from the album. I don't know where the fuck that's going. All right, the album was criticized by longtime fans. I don't know where the fuck that was going. I was fucked up cut and pasting, apparently. All right, the album was criticized by longtime fans for its modern sound and the band further forsaking its original melodic death metal roots. However, the album was seen by many as a natural progression from Reroute to Remain, which is another great album, and was critically praised in many areas of the press, such as Metal Hammer and Kerrang!
You gotta say it like that too, because it's got an explanation point.
Exactly. I'm glad you understood that. So anyway, In Flames, The Quiet Place, I give it a 7.0. Dreadwin, what did you think of this band?
That was wrong.
You didn't like it at all?
No. Is that subtle enough for you?
Yeah, I guess. Okay.
Yeah, normally I like In Flames. This one I did not. It's got that atmospheric intro.
Yeah, their songs definitely vary quite a bit.
Yeah. Most of the ones I'm used to listening to are much more thrash oriented. It had that electronic keyboard thing before the guitars kicked in. The guitars, and when they finally kicked in, they were pretty good, and I was expecting something, but I did not like what the singer was doing. When he was screaming, it was okay, but like for the regular verse part,
clean vocals, right?
Yeah, it sounded like he was trying to be Jonathan Davis, right there, and I
can see that.
I did not like that.
Despite your lifelong love of Korn.
Despite my lifelong love of Korn, and I can't think of their songs right now. Blind, that's it.
Yeah, Adidas.
Adidas, yeah. I actually like a couple of the songs off the first album, but
no, man, I'm gonna have to go nail the fucking nail in my head
now. But yeah, I didn't like that with what he did with the vocals. The drums sounded weak throughout the entire song. However they recorded, they were. I like big, powerful sounding drums that just they're powerful. These sounded weak. Did not like them overall. The whole song just felt weak to me overall. And I was reading through the comment section while I was listening to the song, and I mean, every single comment, they were just fawning over how great this song is. Oh, it's the greatest song ever. This song changed my life. This is the first song I ever heard from In Flames, and it's amazing. This is a song I would skip on a CD.
Oh, damn.
Every single time. I gave it a 6.0. And
did somebody just laugh other than you in the background over there?
Yeah, and my son's over here.
I should probably clean up my language then.
I got headphones on. You're okay.
Oh, all right. Fair enough. All right. Okay, what'd you give it?
6.0.
6.0. There's the dread one we know and love.
Yeah, right. that's probably being generous. It's better than the Catcher song.
Okay.
Not saying much though.
I think it's Ketzer, not Catcher.
That's what I said, Ketzer.
Oh, I thought you said Catcher.
Ketzer.
There you go, Ketzer.
You know, my wife asked me what I was listening to when that song was playing, the Ketzer one.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I don't know, some band that sucks.
All right. Damn, you're fucking just pulling no punches today. All right. Well, hopefully this will fucking cheer you up right here. Little known band from Leighton, East London, formed in 1975 called Iron Maiden. Up the fucking irons. This song is called The Trooper, off of their Peace of Mind album from 1983. And my notes on The Trooper, see if we still got our viewer there. We do. My notes on the Trooper are as follows. As soon as that opening riff play, let me start that again. As soon as that opening riff plays, you know exactly what you're in for. Probably one of my favorite riffs in all of metal. And the very first vocal is fucking badass.
Yes.
You take my life, man. Yeah, I love that. I love that weird part.
That was spot on.
Thank you. Thank you. You tell my fucking great singing. All right. The bass guitar can clearly be heard under that fucking iconic riff. The lyrics are goddamn amazing. The solo is fucking brilliant. I mean, just fucking brilliant. It scoops you up from the battlefield and throws you into the air where you soar away on an ecstasy-driven heavy metal ejaculation.
That's beautiful, man.
Thanks, man. I wrote that myself. All right. I
have a tear in my eye. Hang on.
All right. I fucking love Eddie with the Union Jack. Overall, I just fucking adore this song. It was written by bassist and founder member, I don't know why founding member. Anyway, founder member Steve Harris. The song is based on the charge of the Light Brigade. Let me start that again. The song is based on let me start that one more time. The song is based on the charge of the Light Brigade at the Battle of Balaclava in 1854, which took place during the Crimean War, and inspired by Lord Tennyson's poem of the same name. The track has been subject to much praise since its release, with AllMusic describing it as an all-time genre classic that boasts guitarist Dave Murray and Adrian Smith's most memorable harmonized riff, and plus that trademark galloping rhythm, which I got to agree with them because it's the Trooper. I give it a 10. Red Wing.
You'll take my life, but I'll take yours too. Yes.
You fire a musket, but I'll run you through.
Awesome. Iconic. I can't stress enough. Iconic opening riff. You instantly know what it is, and that's one of those guitar riffs that every guitar player either learns how to play or at least tries to learn how to play at some point. The harmonizing guitars is beautiful, and you can't. There's no other words to describe it. It's just awesome. Yeah. Killer bass line through it, like you're talking about. The bass is really prominent in this song.
Shocker, written by a bassist.
I know, right? And you can it just really drives the song. You got powerful vocals, galloping rhythm, and the only problem I had with this song is I'm sitting down, I'm listening to it, and the guitars are going, and the rhythm's just galloping along, and Bruce's voice is just belting it out in my ears, and I look down, and my chair turned into a horse.
Oh God damn it! I hate that.
I found myself galloping towards a line of redcoats with a musket in my hand and a sword in my other hand, and bullets were flying all around me. And it was a rather harrowing experience, but I pulled through like a trooper.
I love how you came out at the very end. That's pretty good.
I love the song. It's a 10.0.
Awesome. 10s.
Only because I can't give it a higher rating than that.
All right. I figured you might score that one a 10. All right.
Yeah, I like that.
The next band is by a band called Creator. They're a member of the German Big Four. If you don't know what that is, you should probably look it up because it's pretty good stuff. They were formed in Essen, Germany in 1982. This is a song called The People of the Lie from their Coma of...
I thought it was People of the Rye at first.
People of the Lie. And this is off their Coma of Souls album from 1990. I don't have many notes on this one because this one I decided to be lazy on. I did my work on the other 9, unlike some people.
Oh, okay.
All right. Great jumps and great vocals. That's really the only notes I have. But then I put creator's style has changed several times over the years from a Venom-inspired speed metal sound, later moving into thrash metal, including a period of transitioning between thrash and industrial metal to gothic metal throughout the 1990s. In the early 2000s, Creator returned to their classic thrash sound, which they have continued to the present. And Creator is definitely a quintessential thrash band. I give Creator People with a Lie a 7.5. Good, solid song.
Heavy opening riff, kind of evil sounding there at the beginning too. You could pick up some of that gothic vibe off the intro, and then it kicks into the just awesome rhythm, which it was a bit more of a thrash style on this one.
Definitely thrash.
Yeah, has a real good solo to it. His vocals are pretty typical for him and Creator. I'm with you. A good, solid song. I don't have a whole lot of notes on this one. It's just mostly a good, solid song. I gave it an 8.0.
Oh, as opposed to all the other songs which you didn't have very many notes on?
Yeah.
Somebody just didn't do his homework this week.
I had notes on several of these. I just didn't have a lot of notes.
Do you have a dog? Because did that dog eat all of your notes? Is that what you're trying to tell me?
Yeah, that's what happened. My dog ate my notes.
All right. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about some of our favorite songs. Wait, what the fuck's going on here? Some of our favorite songs. Oh, hold on a second here. Something's going on here. Some of our favorite songs. Yeah, fuck the fuck. I need to open this up because I want to fuck up the order if I don't like it. Okay, here we go. Okay, yeah, we're talking about some of our favorite songs off of Black Sabbath's first 5 albums.
There we go.
And their debut album is their self-titled release, Black Sabbath. I got to go with The Wizard. And
good one.
I love that because of the harmonica, and every time I hear it, I always think about the time that we had a D&D campaign and the entire party was comprised of wizards. And
nice.
That's not a good idea. Let me just tell you that right off the bat. Because while you have some offensive firepower, if anything gets close to you, you're dead. So we did a lot of running during that campaign. And because if we couldn't kill it outright, we definitely had to run. Because, with no clerics or no fighters to stand in front of you, yeah, it's a little difficult. But anyway, The Wizard, Dreadwind.
No tanks in that one, huh?
No.
Yeah. Wizard's a good song. I love it. So is, of course, the title track, Black Sabbath. But I'm going to go with NIB, Nib.
Oh, Nativity in Black.
On this one. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny, the story on that one is Ozzy was, they're writing the song and they were trying to come up with a name for it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, they're all, doing their extra. Yeah. Thank you. Mm-hmm. And he looks over at Bill Ward, and Bill Ward had his hair cut some weird looking way with this big beard at the time. And it says he looked like a nib.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know where he came up with that word from, but that's what they said. I'm going to call the song Nib. So he wrote Nib down.
And then somebody later on put the
dots in between it at the record company when they were putting the album together. They just put the 3 dots in between NIB. So then people started speculating, what does NIB stand for? So they came up with all these theories of nativity in black and everything. And no, he's just calling Bill Ward a nib.
You're right. That's a great story. I actually knew that story, but all right. So, all right. Black Sabbath's second album released later that year, 7 months later, they released Paranoid, which is insane. Yeah. And my favorite song off of Paranoid has got to be Electric Funeral.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Electric Funeral. I mean that the whole wow, exactly. That's just so great. The song, the lyrics are awesome. It's just it's very eerie.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite song off of Paranoid?
You took mine, man.
Oh, damn. All right.
Yeah, that's my Electric Funeral. I love it. When I was in a band, we actually covered this song, and I love playing it. It's not much to it, but it's just fun to play, and it's a great song. The lyrics are awesome. The lyrics are awesome on all the songs on this album.
Oh, yeah. Most Black Sabbath albums.
Most Black Sabbath albums.
Easter Butler writes them all, I think, for the most part.
Yeah, I think he writes. Well, yeah, I think he writes most of them. Yeah.
Yeah. You know who else covered Electric Funeral?
Oh, didn't Pantera do it?
Yes, they did. That's the one. Well done. Well spotted.
Yeah.
They've covered a bunch of Black Sabbath songs. Planet Caravan, Hole in the Sky.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
All right.
Also good songs.
All right, so let's move on to Master of Reality. And my favorite song off of Master of Reality, I got to go with, and probably this won't be the popular one, but I got to go with Lord of this World.
Oh yeah, that's a good
Because it
one.
starts off with that orchid, which is a great intro into it. That
Yeah.
and then it just fucking kills it. I love Lord of this World. And there's other great songs in this, but I got to go with Lord of this World. Go ahead.
This is an amazing. This is we've mentioned this before. This is like the foundation of heavy metal.
Right.
Between this album and also Paranoid as well. Both of those albums, you could
Mm-hmm.
really put these two together and make just one amazing album. This one didn't come out much long after Paranoid either. This was like another 6 months later they put this one out.
Right.
So yeah, like within the time span of like a year and a half, they had 3 albums.
Mm-hmm.
That's amazing.
Yeah, 10 months later. Yeah.
Yeah. So Lord of this World's a good one. That's the one Corrosion of Conformity covered.
Mm-hmm.
But my favorite on this one has always been Into the Void.
It's a great, great song.
The intro is just awesome, and then when the guitars really kick in with the main rhythm, it's just it just blows you away. And again, the lyrics are awesome. You know,
Right.
rocket engines burning fuel so fast. Yeah, it's.
I also like the fact that neither one of us picked the gimmies.
Yeah.
Sweet Leave Children of the Grave, you know?
Yeah.
All right. Moving on.
Those are good too, though.
Yeah, those are great songs. All right, moving on to Volume 4. My favorite song off of Volume 4 is Supernaut. Mm-hmm. That's it for me, Supernaut. Yeah, I bet I can guess what yours is.
Supernaut.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Holy shit! All right. Well, there we go.
What did you think it was going to be?
I thought it was going to be Snowblind. We're symbiotic as fuck today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's my other choice off that album. This is not one of my favorite albums from the Ozzy years, but I got to go with Supernaut. Again, just the guitar work in that one and the rhythm. You know, it blasts you in the face.
I want to reach out. All right. Okay. Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. Favorite song off of Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath for me is the title track.
See, I was going back and forth between 2 songs on this one, and it's really close between these 2 songs. The title track, like you said, and the other one though is National Acrobat.
Oh, that's a great song too. Yep. It's
got a great rhythm to it. The title of the song is probably one of the stupidest titles I've ever heard, but the song itself is great. It's just got an amazing rhythm to it. And when Metallica covered Sabracadabra off of this album, they threw in the middle of Sabracadabra, they threw in a riff from National Acrobat. That middle section in the song that they did is actually from National Acrobat that they took and they threw it in there. Little tidbit for you. Yeah.
Okay. But anyway, also on that album, they have Fluff, the instrumental, which I think is pretty good for an instrumental. It's very like mellow.
Yeah.
And like acoustic. And then I also like Spiral Architect. It's another really mellow song, but I really am a fan of that. So
yeah, there's a real good song that would be like, the song itself is written well. It would be a great Doom song, but I just don't like the way they recorded it. And that's Who Are You?
Yep.
Because they took the guitars completely out. There's no guitars in it. It's just all synthesizer.
Yep.
And it doesn't sound like Black Sabbath. But if you replace the synthesizer with the guitar, which I've actually done, because I actually did a cover of it myself using a guitar in my bedroom and recorded it myself covering that song, and it sounds so much better with the guitar. It sounds like a Doom metal song. It's really good that way.
You know who else has covered Who Are You?
Oh, I think I do know who.
Goat Snake.
That's not who I was thinking of. Who's the one? Was it 6 Feet Under?
Old.
What did they do?
You're thinking Old. 6 Feet Under has done a ton of Black Sabbath songs.
Zero the Hero. That's the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be, brother?
Yeah.
Well, we just like totally went into death metal mode right there, didn't we? All right, and as a bonus, a special bonus this week, since we were like way early on time, I am also going to tell you about a concert story that I had totally forgotten about until just recently.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I was at an Ozfest, and there were these 3 dudes in front of me, okay? And they were wearing, like, tucked-in pastel polo shirts, right? 2 of them were. And then, like, khaki shorts, and then they had, like, deck shoes with no socks on. 2 of them came in like that. The other guy came in, and he was wearing just a plain black T-shirt, jeans, and then he had like the symbol for, like the symbol for women that's like a circle with a plus on top of it. Mm-hmm. He had that tattooed on his elbows, where like the circle went around his elbows, and then the plus went like up his forearm. It's like really weird, right? Anyway, they came in about like Ozfest is like starts off at 10 in the morning, right? So they came in at like 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They missed a ton of the opening bands. They come in there, and they had really good seats because I had really good seats. They were like 1 row in front of me. Mm-hmm. I was like maybe like 10 rows back from the stage. So they're 1 row in front of me. They're sitting there and they're watching the show, and they're making fun of every band that comes up there, and like just like totally ripping on all the bands, like making fun of them. Like, what the fuck? So finally, I tapped on the guy's shoulder. I was like, "Hey man, did you come here just to like talk shit about the band? So you actually like here to see somebody?" They're like, "Oh, well, we're here to see somebody." And here's the funny part: they were there to see the fucking Deftones. Because like when the Deftones came on, they like started headbanging and like thrashing around, and then they left when the Deftones got off the main stage. They left.
Are you serious?
Yeah, they fucking left before Black Sabbath came
Oh,
out.
God.
I know. Like, what the fuck? So they missed White Zombie, they missed Black Sabbath, just left.
Wow.
That's what I said. I'm like, are you kidding me? Because they had to pay at least $200 each for those tickets, and they left before Black Sabbath or White Zombie came on. Or I guess Rob Zombie.
Too much money than what they know what to do with. I know exactly what type of people you're talking about. They walk around with the sweaters tied around their neck.
Oh, that was the ones. Yep.
Yeah.
Always looking lattes. All right, so for this weekend, there is nothing for me though. I have no events. I was going to go to Pete's Robot Convention in Cincinnati, Ohio, but yeah, it's called Pete's Robot Convention.
Pete's Robot Convention.
That's exactly what it's called. It's a big Transformers trade show, right? And I guess I shouldn't say.
Is it in a van down by the river?
No. It's at the Cincinnati Marriott, you fucker. But at any rate, the whole reason why I wanted to go is because the chick that does she is the leader of the little cosplay group that I'm in for G.I. Joe. Her name's Joe Colton. And anyway, she does a ton of different cosplay. And one of the cosplays she does is a Marissa Fairborn. And if you don't know who Marissa Fairborn is the daughter of Flint and Lady J, who also appears on the Transformers show in the later episodes. But anyway, she does the cosplay of that. She's going to be there. So I thought I'd go. But then I realized that I was going to go down and stay at my mom's house, who lives in Cincinnati. But this place, because of the way they shut down this bridge, it's 45 minutes still from my mom's house.
Oh. And
it's a 2-hour drive to my mom's house. I was like, yeah, fuck it. I'm not gonna, I mean, 3 hours I do for Gen Con, but not for fucking Pete's Robot Convention.
Down by the river.
Yeah, right. You're such a dick. So anyway, my next event will be Indie PopCon, which is July the 7th. And I'm doing a charity event there where we're getting canned food and clothing drive for the homeless there. So if you're in Indiana, there you go. Anyway, that's it for me. All right. I want to say, hey, fucking everybody, thanks for listening. Hopefully I got my phone issues cleared up. And keep the fucking horns up, Dreadwind.
Stay metal, guys. Catch y'all next week.
We're out.